Hey, vlog time. This is my friend Andy. So we just came back from Detective Pikachu, or I guess Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Uh, I thought it was good. Um, I mean, what do you think overall?
I thought it was good. I First time I heard about it, as you would think, would think that it would follow a
Excuse me.
normal playthrough of one of normal Nintendo games,
No.
and I kind of like that they didn't do that. It's
Yeah.
kind of its standalone story.
Yeah. Um, I was a bit taken aback by a few twists, but I kind of saw what ultimately ended up happening with
Spoiler.
one extra. Yeah, spoilers. Uh, I think really, my only biggest complaint would probably be about this movie is that the acting, aside from people that turn out to be, your main villains or just some supporting cast, like from Justice Smith, who plays the lead character, he's not very good. He was probably the weakest part, and then uh, the quote unquote love interest. She was kind of bland as well. Obviously, the best part I think was the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Uh, they looked really good. They weren't terrifying like Sonic, was presented to be with his human eyes and human teeth. Even though they have human eyes, but but they're not really off-putting or unsettling or anything like that.
I thought the Apums were the creepiest, but
Which
also
ones?
funny. The purple little monkey dudes.
Oh, when they were evil.
Well, no,
Uh,
either way. I just think in the game in the Nintendo games they're a lot cuter
and
than
friendlier.
yeah. In the movie, it was kind of like, whew, that's a little bit creepy.
Well, okay. So, in case if you're wondering, the plot is that our lead character, who just wants to be an insurance salesman or whatever the hell, he gets a phone call that his dad is dead. That he was in a terrible accident, and he goes to his house to try and collect some stuff, and he stumbles upon a Pikachu. If you haven't seen the trailer, and the Pikachu can talk to him, and before that, he discovers this like vial of like weird purple stuff that apparently makes Pokemon kind of go crazy. And I mean, I had thought that part of the explanation was that it was the purple stuff that gave him the ability to be able to hear the Pikachu,
Yeah, I first
or
thought
just
about
to
that.
hear the Pokemon in general. But he can only hear, and as we find out later, the the whole resolution of that really doesn't make any sense. So spoilers. Uh, we find out ultimately that not only is his dad, not dead, so Mewtwo is involved, which is fine and cool and everything, and Mewtwo is not evil. Um,
No, she's psychic.
I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you. Uh, I'm gonna dump ice on you while you're asleep. Um,
That's not cool, bro.
God, I hate you so much sometimes. Uh, um, so Mewtwo was trying to help them and da 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 da, because Pikachu and the detective were, well, they set Mewtwo free. So just we're we're just not going to get into the long explanation of the story because the story is pretty cut and dry. It's pretty simple, really. Um, really, overall, I mean, well, what I will touch on again is that what still doesn't make sense, as I was saying to you in the theater at one point at the end, was so if his dad's mind was put inside of Pikachu, this was kind of the only way to be able to save him because his body, I guess, was broken in the crash, and his Pokemon Pikachu was perfectly fine, and Pikachu was telling Mewtwo that he would offer up his body in order to keep him alive. It still really doesn't explain how it was that he was able to communicate. And but like you had offered a solution where it was that maybe it was some sort of a mind link between Mewtwo and Pikachu that was allowing him to be able to communicate with his son and no one else. Um,
But yeah, on the surface, that could be kind of confusing.
yeah, and yet the same thing happens later on when surprise surprise, Bill Nye, the
Science guy.
that's the name of the actor actually. Um, he turns out to be the villain because he's going to control Mewtwo with a mind link headset, and he unleashes toxin to uh, mind connect like everyone to their Pokemon. And so I was kind of surprised, though not really, how even when they were connected to their Pokemon, they still couldn't really talk. Although except for still like Psyduck, and all that. Um, I mean, my only real complaint is that the acting, specifically by the main actors, was fairly bland. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, was great. I mean, he was funny.
Shock.
And
Shocking.
is that really all you can do?
No, not.
I'm gonna take your shoe off. I'm gonna beat you with your shoe. Get out of my video. Get out of my video. Okay. And I mean, if I had to give this a rating, which I don't really do, I mean, I would say, um, I mean, the ticket price wasn't expensive,
No, it was really good.
especially for for going to the village. Uh, um, it was pretty enjoyable. Uh, the acting wasn't very good, but I would say overall, like 1 to 10 on my rating. I would give this probably about a 6 out of 10.
I was thinking around 6 or 7 myself too.
Yeah. Not the most amazing uh, Pokemon movie. Granted, I've never really been that much of a fan of the Pokemon movies.
I do kind of wish that they utilized actual Pokemon battles more because it seemed like
Oh yeah.
they had like outlawed that or something.
Well, just in that particular city,
Huh.
uh, where because it was more about them just existing, and living together and being partners
Hmm.
and such, and and not there weren't supposed to be battles or anything like that. Uh, what are you doing? All right, well, that's been this video, and let us know what you guys think. I think next time, because I want to talk about Endgame, but I want to see it again.
Yeah.
So, see you guys next time.